Welcome back to another Hump Day Real Estate with Kendell and the DMV. And right now in 2026, we're going to talk about your pockets a little bit. But in your pockets, we're going to talk about real estate. And we have a guy here that does loans every day in the DMV. And he's going to announce he's closing loans every day in the DMV. And who do we have as a special guest today?
Washington, Lone Depot.
Brian, we appreciate you, man, coming on. This is the first episode of 2026. So we thank you for taking out the time in your day to come on with us and share your wealth of knowledge in the real estate space.
And thank you for having me. 2026, let's go. First
2026.
guest, too. I appreciate it, man. Hump day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, man, right now in 2024 and 2025, it's appeared to be still somewhat a seller's market, right? But you can answer if you want.
Oh, I'll let you finish your thought.
Yeah, it seemed to be edging between sellers market and buyers market. I think this year we could clearly say it's the buyers market. You feel that
You
way?
know, some streets, yeah. It just depends on the area, depends on number one, I think that the first thing is it depends on the area. And then I think secondly, depends on the price. How do you walk yourself as a real estate agent? How do you counsel your listing clients, how they should, price their home based on what's going on in the market? Are you seeing trends going up or down? And I guess my point is they need to listen to you because you've got, as a licensed agent, you have more data than anyone else in this market. The newspapers, they can say whatever they want. They're there to just write articles, but you have the live data. On a day by day basis, you're talking to people every single day about buying and selling property. This is what you do. And I think if I had to, stress anything, that, people should be listened to, listen to the experts that are doing the job, not the people who are reporting on what the experts are doing, because those are two different people. We have two different goals. Their goals are to sell newspapers and or, sell subscriptions to online news articles. Our job is our job. This is what we do, every single day. And we're talking to real live people every day. And we see the trends. So, yeah.
And I agree with you. It's all depends on where you are. A lot of what I've seen so far, especially last year, as I really saw that buyer's market, and especially with investors. I've had several investors who were able to get deals 40,000 below list price, um, and especially in the Baltimore area, and on a lot of and these were properties that the elders were on their way to baby boomers, if you will, were on their way, they were retiring, etc. And they were some of the folks have already moved to Florida or wherever they were going to spend their last years, and the homes were sitting on the market. And what we were able to do is I identified those homes where the investor was running around looking at wholesale deals and all these other things that weren't really deals. And I pulled those guys aside and I said, man, let's take a look at deals that have been on the market 50 to 100 days or what have you. And I can clearly see that they were priced overly priced. And I just let them get beat up for a couple of weeks, right? Or a couple of more weeks, let them get beat up, and then we go dive in there with a cash offer, and
Yeah.
and get a deal that most people just won't get for being strategic about uh, working with an agent, first of all, to be strategic about how you buy a property, right? And that's where I kind of come in and I work and I'm gonna brag on this real quick. So I created this thing called the Kendell Advantage. And the Kendall
Nice.
Advantage is based off of being strategic about buying and selling homes. And that's the way we got those deals, man. Is we actually I went out there and I searched and I looked for who's sitting on the market, who probably went under contract and went back active. And then I took those buyers to those properties. But in my opinion, doing that applies not only for investors, but it also applies for somebody that's going to live in the homes. And I think that
Absolutely.
I think it's a big opportunity where they talk about the millennials not being priced out of the market. Well, you're only priced out of the market if you go and play where everybody is playing and use the same strategy everybody's using, right? And so if
Right.
the only way you're going to buy a house if it's fully renovated and eat off the floor gorgeous, if when those interest rates come down, if they do, or the folks just jump back in the market, that's the reason why you're probably not going to get a deal on a house right off because you're competing against everybody else. Why don't you go and compete with who you can beat, and you can beat out an investor every day, all day long, right? Because the investor has their own structure of the way they actually buy. So, what do you think about that?
You get that's a lot of meat on the plate there. The first thing that comes to my mind, based on what you said, is, this talks about your experience when you got your own system. Because ultimately, because I have one too, and I know that you've got your system based on the experience of all your years in real estate. Learning from your successes as an agent, learning from your client success, and then also learning from clients' mistakes and where they misstep. And it helps you come up with a system so that your new clients come on board and it's more like, here's what we need to do next. Here's step one, step two, step three. Here's the things we need to look at. We need to look at this, this, and this. We need not look at the following this, and this. So I think it's awesome that you got that system in place. It just says that you care about your clients and you're trying to collect all that data and make it better for everyone else, just coming behind, your clients. So your experience is paying off big time. So y'all take advantage of that. And I would tell you as it relates to, yeah, go where you can win. I mean, what's the point of going out? Because this is a competition. I tell clients this all the time. So I'm like your strength and conditioning coach, okay? Marcellus, he's going to be the coach out there on the field. I'm getting you ready to go out there and be with Marcellus, so you can, write the offer and win because it's going to be more than one person. Because the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia area, which in our real estate world now, we talk about Baltimore no matter where we do business. We talk about the Baltimore MSAs, suburban areas, and you have to be ready to go to those areas because sometimes some clients are priced out of this market. So they have to be ready. So the point is, yeah, go where you can win. If you can win up there, go win in Baltimore. We'll go with you. I'm licensed in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. I went to Morgan State University, so I get it. And there's some nice properties up there, nice places, nice neighborhoods. But you got to work with a professional who knows the area and what's going on. Because I've seen some of my clients go up there and relocate very happily and very comfortably. Okay. So yeah, I have what I call my quick six. You answer these quick six questions and boom, I can tell you exactly where you're going to more likely end up, what program you're going to be using. When it's all said and done, how does it look for you, what you're going to come out of pocket with? And how do I go to Marcellus? All right, Marcellus, here's the deal. This is what this client has. Can you see out there and where they're trying to purchase? Is there any down payment or closing cost assistance coming from the seller? I got the down payment assistance program because a lot of people forget that there could be no down payment to the sales price, which means the sales price is say $400,000. You can finance $400,000. However, there's closing costs, which can be about 5 to 5.5, 6%, depending on jurisdiction you go in. So that's another 20, 25, $26,000 that you have to come up with. The seller can pay that. We can work together, with Marcellus to creatively, structure so you can still come to settlement with little or no money out of pocket. Like we got the Maryland Mortgage Program. It's a great program, giving you like 5% toward that, 6%. So you can come to closing with, 1%, or our internal product, which is the Access Zero. no down payment, and we pay a little bit of your closing costs. Doesn't matter your income, doesn't matter if you already own a home. And you can go down to a 600 credit score, where Maryland mortgage, you're stuck at 640.
And am I right also to say so Loan Depot is not like a bank, right? It's more you have multiple lenders you can shop for your clients, right?
Yeah, we got the best of both worlds. So we can broker our deals out. We're a direct lender. Let me say that. And my NMLS number is 658-931. But the main point, I got to do that for compliance reasons. You know how our world is now.
Yep, yep,
But more importantly, like you asked, we're a direct lender. So that means we have products that are internal to us. We fund our own deals and then sell to Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and any other investor. And then sometimes we broker deals out, and some deals we keep in house. We just service them themselves. So we do have the best of both worlds. So if I have to get creative, like I'm doing we have our own internal DSCR loans now. So you and I have had conversations, about this in the past.
right.
So at first I was brokering those deals out. Now we have our own internal, money for that, which means our interest rate is going to be a little bit less compared to when I used to have to broker it out. Okay,
Mhm.
a little bit less. But it's definitely it's notable. Let me
Yeah,
just be honest with you. It's a noticeable difference. Like, oh, okay, this is better because it's now our money, and we're
right.
super rare when it comes to that. I don't know of any other direct lender that's doing it. I know we are, and just priced one up a few minutes ago, and client was like, "Oh gosh, I'm gonna save that much money, so why not?"
So are you doing those in Baltimore?
Yeah, we don't have any. Good question, because I know we talked before. Some of these lenders were pulling out.
Yeah,
We're still in Baltimore, no problem. Of course, it's by case basis. I haven't run across anything that has made my underwriter say, "Nah, we can't do that." You
good.
know, you
Good,
know.
good, good. And one thing I want to throw out there though, so my example was based off of an investor in Baltimore, but we strategically can do the exact same thing in PG County and in DC. It's just we're looking for a house that's not all put together pretty much, right? And so and these things might turn into other loan products like your 203K or home ready style renovation loans as well. If there are opportunities out there where a person just sees, hey, this is a nice house in this neighborhood, and if I can get the money, so I'm getting it for a good price, so I can get the money to renovate it to my liking, that might be golden for somebody.
You make money when you buy. I mean, you're helping your clients make money when they buy the property. A lot of people, they don't want to deal with renovation financing. They don't want to deal with fix and flips. If Because what I find now is most investor clients, they're making good money on the rentals when they go in and buy that dilapidated property, and they're willing to do the renovation financing. So I have that, as well. I love it every time. If I move, and the last company I was with, it was close to 10 years, but if I move, and the only reason I moved over here is because Loan Depot is really aggressive, and they're aggressive about renovation financing, because I can do renovation financing for the investors. I can do renovation financing for a VA client, a first-time home buyer, but not with a first-time home buyer program, but just a first-time home buyer. And yeah, it's a sweet deal. We got one client right now. They're going to walk in the property, and she's closing Monday. She's going to walk in the property with like $45,000 in equity, man.
Mhm.
$45,000.
And that's what we want, man. We want to position buyers